If I just spontaneously burst into tears, it's because I've already watched this live and I had filmed a reaction to it. And it didn't save because I was out of memory. So now I have to watch this again, and I really can't think of much worse than watching this again because Autumn Calabrese gets my blood boiling like very few people. My husband's like, oh, I'm so sorry you have to watch that again because he knows how I feel about this. Not great. I had already recorded a couple of videos today, and I was like, oh, I've got plenty of content. Then Autumn went live, and she's just the gift that keeps giving and with content. So we are going to listen to her live, and then we're going to look at a post that a good friend did, and we're going to include that in here. So let's see what Autumn had to say today. Of course, she's talking about 4-week gut protocol because it's all gut protocol all the time.
Good morning, you guys. Happy Friday. I literally almost just started this by saying happy Sunday. It's been a long week. I really was like, what day is it? Feels like it should be a weekend because I was on body all week. Taught 7 classes in 4 days. My body feels beat to hell a little bit.
7 classes in 4 days is a lot. Like, that's a ridiculous amount. No wonder her body doesn't feel great. It also might not feel great because she's not really giving it the nutrients that it needs, in my opinion. I also get really annoyed every time she takes her pills on camera. One, I just think it's gross. It's like when some of the coaches, there are some that are notorious for this, are eating on their stories. I hate it. It drives me bonkers. I'm like, quit it. It's also kind of mean to be taking the supplements on camera when none of your coaches can order them. That's kind of rude because they would like to be taking the supplements too, but they can't get them.
But it's all good. Anyways, I came on because I want to talk to you guys about how life can impact our body, the things that we're doing, the things that we're going through, even when we're doing all the right things when it comes to our nutrition and stuff. And
all the right things when it comes to our nutrition. So she's going to get into diet culture, but just take into yourself some of the things that she is saying about food. And then we're going to talk about diet culture here in a little bit, and she's going to give us all the knowledge.
Same time I'm making breakfast, so I'm going to do a little something different. I'm going to do a little quinoa breakfast bowl. I just sprayed my pan with coconut oil. But, so this week I was on body, right? I'm teaching 7 workouts in 4 days. And I don't know if people realize that when you're live in front of cameras, the adrenaline hits. And you might think you push as hard as you can at home, but when you're on that stage and you're talking nonstop through a workout and you're trying to cheer people on and motivate them, it's exponentially harder. The workout is exponentially harder.
That is very true. I can tell you when I would be teaching classes, people would be like, what's your heart rate? It doesn't matter what my heart rate is because it is so out of whack because your heart rate does go a lot higher when you have to be on. You're kind of performing. I know when I would teach turbo kick, my heart rate would get really high because you'd have to remember the choreography. You were having to be on the music. It's a lot, and having cameras would add even more to that. So I can only imagine she's got to be beat.
So that was me this whole week. So pushing my body. My body's still trying to recover, you guys, just because the last couple months have actually been pretty intense in terms of my schedule and just how much I'm going. Putacana really kicked my butt. But anyways, and then on top of it, I had really early morning call times. I had to be up at 6 or 6:30, which that's early for me, okay? So the whole point is this. I'm doing gut protocol, obviously. Feel great. Been doing gut protocol for a while. So last week, when my friends came over, we had some sushi. I had a little bit of sake. Now with my sushi, you guys,
So now she is going to justify what she ate. Tell me you're not participating in diet culture again?
I was on point with like the reds I could have, the yellow I could have from the rice, ate some edamame. Technically, obviously, alcohol is not on plan, but I've done multiple rounds of this now. So if I want a drink every once in a while, I will have one. And by the way, for you guys that are doing gut protocol, I actually have a video going up early next week that will talk to you about how to sort of still follow the hybrid plan, the gut protocol, like a version of the gut protocol plan that's a little bit more what I call maintenance based of it, where if you want a cocktail, you can have a cocktail and here's how you're going to do it and things like that. But anyways.
But it's not a diet. Okay. I just watched you measure your fruit out into a container. Could you put your lid on that container? I'm wondering.
I'm making basically, in here I'm making like a berry syrup to go over.
Okay, the scraping of the spoon on the pan is driving me nuts because you don't do that. You don't use a metal spoon or a metal utensil on a pan.
My quinoa that I'm going to do in my breakfast bowl. So I had a cocktail. No big deal. Like I didn't have like 5. I had like a cocktail. And more importantly though, I just haven't been getting enough sleep this week. So I haven't been on the scale in like, I don't know, 3 weeks. I got on the scale a few days ago. I was up like 2 pounds. By the way, you guys, fluctuating a pound or 2, no big deal. Not a big deal at all. Don't panic. But what you do need to pay attention to is that just natural fluctuation, right? Like maybe you haven't gone to the bathroom yet. Maybe you ate something more salty. Or do you know you were eating a little bit off plan?
Wait, off plan? So were you eating bad foods? So would that be considered a diet?
I didn't really eat off plan. I might have eaten a little bit more rice with my sushi, let me be honest. But more importantly than that, like I said, I wasn't getting enough sleep just because of the workouts on body, coming home, my body hurts. So when my body hurts, it's harder to sleep. I'm sore. Like I roll over, I'm like, oh my neck. I roll over, I'm like, oh my back. I'm not getting any younger, you guys. I'm 41. But finally got a really good night's sleep last night. So I haven't been doing anything different, right? Other than I got a really good night's sleep last night. Got up this morning and guess what? Back down to where I was. Those 2 pounds are gone. Obviously drinking my water and...
So now you're going to anticipate after every good night's sleep, you should probably have a lower weight. Here's the interesting thing to me though. When I was a coach in Beachbody, we would get up early so that we could work out before our kids got up or before you had to go to work or whatever you had on your schedule. You would get up early. I was normally getting up around 4:30. Would get everything done, get kids up, some kids off to school. I had some kids at home. Some people had to go to work, and then you have family obligations. Well, when are you going to work your business? Well, you better stay up late and do that. So now you have to wait till your kids are in bed. So my family was normally down by like 9. They would finally stay in their beds. And I would need to work till like 11 in order to accomplish the things that they said I needed to do in a day. So they are actually teaching their coaches disordered eating patterns, disordered sleeping patterns. But then they're telling you that that's how you're going to have success is to sleep. But you're going to have success if you sacrifice your sleep. Make it make sense.
Doing all the things, but sleep has a huge impact on your recovery. And I think so often we forget about that. We forget about the importance of sleep. Because I keep getting messages from people being like, I was doing so great in week 1 of 2 and got protocol, but the scale went up a pound or 2. And that's why I come on here to tell you guys, first of all, it's not the end all be all, right? I wrote you guys a great program as a first step in to...
Who wrote the program? Did you write the program? Or did a group of registered dietitians and doctors write the program? Let me guess, you did.
Improving your gut health. It's not the end all be all. It isn't. Like, there's going to be things that can constantly affect your gut health, even when you're following all of the steps in gut protocol. Sleep is one of them. It's why I actually made it a focus of one of the weeks, because our body needs that time to recover and repair. And if we're not giving it and we're beating the heck out of our bodies, inflammation can and will show up. So I'm coming on to talk to you guys about this and give you that example because I think it's really important to understand that if you have a moment while you're going through the program and the scale starts to move in the opposite direction of the way you want it to go, which again, I try not to have people focus on the scale. This is about how we feel. How does your skin look? How are you sleeping? How are your bowel movements, gas, bloating? How are your clothes fitting? How's your energy, right? I really want it to be more about that than did the scale move a pound or two.
Okay, this is where I'm calling crap because she has talked about the fact that she has taken thousands of people through this program before she ever brought it to Beachbody. Hello, you created the program, not Beachbody. How did she run all of those people through? Do you guys know? She did a diet bet. A diet bet, the sole way that you can win that diet bet is by losing weight. This is a weight loss program. Otherwise, you would have done it in a diet bet where the only way that they could win their money back was to lose weight.
But if it does, you have to check in on all the things in life, not just am I eating all my containers, am I following the program? You have to say, how is my stress? How is my sleep? Am I getting less than I normally would? Am I taking the time to chew my food? Did I introduce a new food to my body that maybe that's the issue? We need to check in on these things.
Here's the thing though, you were introducing so many new foods. So you got rid of 7 complete categories, but one of the goals is to eat 30 different plants every week to have like that variety. In order to do that, you're having to add in things that you've never had before. So you don't know how those are impacting you. Is it that you took out the dairy that's making you feel better? Is it some of the things that you added in? Oh, you were feeling great. Now you're feeling like crap. Is it because you took things out that your body actually needs? Or is it you've introduced things that your body doesn't need? Right? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. And plus, eating 30 different plants, just to eat 30 different plants, it's not a specific amount of each of those things. So what is the point of that? I don't understand that. Because a lot of people will be like, well, I had this salad that had cabbage, carrots, kale, broccoli, cabbage, lettuce, all of these different things. So that's like 7 plants. Well, yeah, but you're not getting that much of each of them. Does it really matter?
And ask ourselves these questions and not just go like, oh, week 3, it's not working for me anymore. So that was one of the major things that I wanted to talk to you guys about. Sleep, the importance of sleep, and to make sure that you're getting it, right? There's 2 other things I want to talk to you about, so don't go. But I am going to pick up the camera because I just realized I didn't get my coconut yogurt out of the refrigerator. So the other thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about besides sleep, I'm like breaking things around here, is the importance of variety in your workouts. I had another person message me the other day, and she hasn't even started gut protocol or 4 weeks for everybody, and she was just like, I want to do gut protocol, but I want to do it with a more intense program. I just know these workouts aren't going to be right for me.
The way that she imitates the coaches is really sad. Does she really feel like the coaches are like this? If they don't agree with her, then they're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do it your way. The imitations of them are really kind of offensive. And I apologize. I have to keep moving because I'm still recovering from my knee surgery and I have to keep moving it to try and find comfortable positions. So
I know my body. I know what my body wants. I know what my body needs. And I was like, holy cow, you are coming at this with the wrong mindset. Like, you got to go adjust that thing. I was like, I'm going to give you tough love because I love a good hard workout as much as the next person. And I probably would have been that person a few years ago to even say the same thing. Like, my body doesn't want an easy workout. I want a hard workout. No. That's what my mind wants. But my body appreciates a workout that sometimes doesn't beat the crap out of my joints, okay? Don't get me wrong. I love it, you guys. I created 9-week Control Freak. That is hard AF. And I love that program. Love it. And my body loves that program. But my body also loves 4 weeks for everybody. My body also wants some recovery time after it's had the crap beat out of it. So if you think about athletes, they have their season that they play in and train in, and then they have off season. Y'all, if you want to beat the crap out of your body, do it. Fine, enjoy it. But you also need an off season. No athlete season lasts all year long. That's for a reason. You can't beat the heck out of your body all season long, all year long, and not expect injury to happen, not expect burnout to happen.
It's interesting though, because that's what Beachbody does. And you don't choose a program, in my opinion and in my experience, you don't choose a program based on what your body needs. You choose your program based on what the company has released. The reason everyone's doing 4-week gut protocol right now is because it's the new program. Guess what? In May, they're all going to be doing Fire and Flow. You do whatever program the company comes out with because that's how you're going to sell. So you're not basing it on what feels good to your body. How do I know? Because I did Hammer and Chisel and I hated every second of it. Sagi and Autumn together, whoa, not cool. It was awful. So the coaches don't listen to their bodies. You've told them that in order to be successful, they really can't.
Expect to start to go negative in terms of progress instead of positive, right? Like all of a sudden you're like, why am I not making progress? Why am I lifting lighter than I normally would? Why can't I jump as high? Why is my stamina lower? Well, it's going to be if you always beat the heck out of your body and you never take the time to just give it a...
It also can happen if you are eating too low of calories, like the plans that she recommends.
Little break to just, and by break, I don't mean it has to be super easy. If you've done 4 weeks for everybody, you guys know the workouts aren't easy. We're just not jumping. That's the only difference. We're just not jumping. And instead of doing 5 and 6 days a week of crazy hard, we've got our 4 days. We're lifting 3 days. We've got the no impact / low impact. I'm gonna call it low impact, you guys. Technically it is low impact, but
mark this moment. This is the first time I've heard her say that. It isn't no impact. It is a low impact program, but because she's been calling it no impact, all the coaches have been calling it no impact. And they're truly showing that they should not be leading anybody through a fitness program when they're calling this no impact. That's not a thing. It's not a thing.
I think people have a hard time understanding that even walking is considered impact on your...
Do they think their coaches are stupid? Like, they really are making out in each of these things. Like, the coaches don't know what they're doing and they can't be trusted to properly communicate low impact. So we better tell them no impact so that they can understand. Your coaches aren't stupid. Like,
joints. So that's why I call it no impact, because we're not jumping. But, and then I tell you 1 day a week to get in movement based on what your body needs. So if that's the day your body wants something really hard, go for it. If that's the day your body wants to foam roll and stretch, meditate, take a walk, do yoga, do that. You have to listen to your body on that 5th day of movement. That's really important.
It's been really funny though to watch the coaches that are going through these. They'll use heavier weights than she recommends using because they want to feel like they're getting a better workout. I've seen them add cycling workouts. I've seen them add bar workouts. I've seen them add ab workouts because they don't feel like they're getting a good enough workout from 4 weeks for everybody. So they're not following what she said because they have gotten to the point where they're used to these insanely hard programs because that's what Beachbody does. They keep burning and churning these programs out that are hard, and it feels like they are getting more and more crazy, like Control Freak or Obsession. It was interesting. I was talking to some friends that were in Beachbody long ago, and like when I initially was introduced to Beachbody, doing Turbo Fire, Turbo Jam, Chalene Extreme, P90X. They were programs that were very effective and simple. Well, I don't know if you could call Turbo simple. Turbo, I mean, you have choreography to music. But like Shalene Extreme was very simple movements. But it feels like they are just getting crazier and crazier because they're trying to do it in less and less time. So it's like, how many moves can we combine into one? And then you're not getting an effective workout. I've been looking on some of the forums and people are like, holy crap, I switched from Beachbody and now I'm doing, there's several different YouTube people, but they're like, now I'm doing their workouts. I'm dying. I'm getting such a good workout and I can tell the strength that I'm building, not in these programs.
But I can tell you this, from doing 4 weeks for everybody for like I did 1 round, then I did 2 weeks of 9-week Control Freak. Then I came back to 4 weeks for everybody when I started Gut Protocol again, March 28th with everybody. I'm lifting heavier. A shoulder injury that I have is completely healed and gone because I gave.
Is that the one that you went to the physical therapist for and that you've been using ice and heat and red sauna and soaking? So it's not just that you've changed your workouts. You actually went to a doctor.
My body the break that it needed from pushing. The inflammation is less. My joints feel better. And when I jump, when I do have impact and jump, I'm jumping so much higher. And when I land, it doesn't feel like just bricks weighing me down. That is the beauty of having a quote unquote off season, a time where you have lower impact, a little bit less stress on your body and in your workouts. So
I really think you should always be doing that though. You need to be aware of what movement is going to bring you joy, and then that is the movement that you do. That was such a foreign concept to me because I truly felt like I had to do a program and a calendar. And I still struggle with that sometimes when I'm like, oh my gosh, I just want to go for a walk. And it's like, no, today's supposed to be a weightlifting day. Like, oh, dang it. Like, it's still a mindset that I'm working on every day.
Can you do 4-week Gut Protocol with a more intense program? Yeah, you can. I always recommend that when you do it for the very first time, you start it the way I wrote it, which is 4-week Gut Protocol along with 4 weeks for everybody, and give your body that little bit of a break, right? And then if you want to go on to 9-week Control Freak, great. Go do 9-week Control Freak for 9 weeks.
Have any of you, if you've done the gut protocol, can you please comment down below? Does she talk in that about the fact that if you do some of these different workouts, that you need to alter what you're eating and that your food plan needs to change? Does she talk about that? Because the interesting thing to me, and this is part of what happened to me when I got into issues, is that I was working out an insane number of hours in a day between my personal workouts and the classes that I was teaching. And I wasn't altering my meal plan. And so I was starving my body. My body wasn't getting what it needed, so it was holding on to everything. And I was having crazy binges because my body needed extra fuel. So I'm wondering if you can comment down below, does she talk about that anywhere?
Have at it. Enjoy. Watch how strong you feel when you do it. But when you finish 9-week Control Freak, circle back. Circle back to something like 4 weeks for everybody, where you just give a little bit of a break to your body, and it's going to feel so much better. And then you want to go for something hard again? You want to go for lift more? Great. Go get it. Do it. All out. But then circle back. Just give your body that little bit of what I'm referring to as the off season. And it's going to feel so much better, and it's going to reward you for it so much more. You guys, how good does my breakfast look? It's like a quinoa breakfast bowl. So
her food normally looks sad. I'm not even going to lie. That doesn't look as bad as some of the things that she makes. But honestly, it seems like she just eats the exact same things over and over and over. Like, it really seems like she has a fairly boring meal plan.
One red B for the quinoa. It's a blue for the coconut yogurt, and it's a purple for the sauteed berries that I did. So I wanted to tell you guys that because I think that's really important for people to recognize and to understand.
Take a deep breath. Here we go.
And the last thing I just want to tell you guys is that it's about progress. right? We're not here to be perfect. We're not here to be like, oh my God, I never did, anything wrong. Like,
so she's saying this. This is the same woman that went on this rant before about doing it my way. If you want results, you have to follow my plan. And if you are going to do it your way, you're not going to get results. She doesn't want progress. She does want perfection.
Nobody's perfect. And gut health isn't even perfect. And even understanding your own gut health is not a perfect process. You won't get to the end of these 4 weeks and have every answer about what gives you gas and what doesn't give.
Honestly, in my opinion, I don't think you're going to have many answers at all.
Gas, what bloats you and what doesn't bloat you, what makes you feel good and what doesn't make you feel good. Our bodies are changing and evolving every single day. So it is always a learning process. And if you come into that just looking to learn your body a little bit more every single day, the process becomes that much more enjoyable.
But it isn't that you're learning your body. You are following a very specific, prescriptive, in my opinion, program that she wrote based on what she was insensitive to. What food insensitivities. Food sensitivities. It's late, y'all. And we have a new puppy, and it's like getting up with a toddler. Anyway, or getting up with a newborn. But she is basing this based on her own food sensitivities and her own experiences.
You're not doing it to punish yourself, right? We're not giving up alcohol for these 4 weeks to punish ourselves. We're giving it up to go, let me just let me just clean some things out. Let me feel better. Let me see what really impacts me, what makes me feel good and what makes me not feel good. And you guys, healthy food, it's not a punishment. It's not restriction. It drives me insane that we have this mindset that eating healthy is all of a sudden diet culture.
That is not what diet culture is. Eating healthy is not diet culture. She's going to start talking about things, and even some of the things that she has said up until now, that's diet culture.
I kind of kept my mouth shut about this for a long time, but it enrages me. It enrages me that people are like, if I can't eat cookies every day, that's diet culture. I'm like, no, that's health.
Again, who is she talking to? No, we're saying if you have to measure your food in a tiny container that you better make sure you can put the lid on, and you're only allowed a certain number of those per day, including your veggies and your fruit, don't go over those. That is a diet, and that is diet culture. Having a food list that shows best, better, good, that is diet culture. You are assigning food a value of good and bad. That is diet culture, my friend.
Sorry, it just is. Eating healthy.
Who finds her inspirational? She has gotten progressively more condescending, in my opinion, the last year. It feels like her stress level is at an all-time high, and it's wearing and it's showing in her actions, in her face, her stress levels. It looks like she is on edge.
Is self-love, and saying eat the entire bag of chips, drink the whole bottle of wine every single night.
Who is saying to do that? If you are drinking an entire bottle of wine every night, you might want to get some help. Nobody is saying that that is healthy, or that you should be doing that, or that you should be eating all the cookies all the time. That is not healthy, but neither is what she's asking you to do.
That is not self-love, and I'm so tired of people standing on their platforms and going, Autumn preaches diet culture because she tells you can only have a cocktail a couple times a week, and you can only have dessert a couple times a week, and you're a bad person for trying to teach people that way. And I'm like, guys.
No, that isn't the problem that people have. The people have a problem with, like I said, very specific calorie brackets, food containers, food lists, calorie restriction. That is what we have an issue with. That is what diet culture is. We're not saying the fact that you're telling people that they probably shouldn't have cocktails every single day. That's not what it is. And the fact that anytime anybody tries to tell her that, she deletes them. She deletes their comments. She doesn't pay any attention. She's not willing to hear anything external. She is in an echo chamber, and she likes it that way.
Do you realize that there was a time that most of the food that we consume, especially as Americans, there was a time that those things didn't exist. They are made in a factory, and there was a time that they weren't there. It wasn't even an option. Like, there was a time that the only option was to eat the things that grew outside, be it plants and or animals.
Okay, so the entire fruit bowl that or breakfast bowl that she just did, that was all processed. That was all created in factories. The quinoa had to be processed. The berries had to be processed, and so did that yogurt. What? Like, if you want to talk about what is natural, well, then you should also be talking about the fact that no, berries weren't available year round. No, quinoa wasn't grown in certain places. So are you saying we need to restrict that as well? Because if you're just going to say that we need to restrict those things and things that were processed, then ma'am, your entire breakfast bowl should really be tossed out.
Like, not something developed in a chemistry lab.
You mean like Shakeology and Energize? I mean, I have yet to find an Energize plant. I mean, I guess I could go look for that. But why are those things okay? Oh, that's right, because you sell them.
But all of a sudden, we're like, well, because it's there, I should be able to eat it, and
because my company makes it, you guys should have it.
You shouldn't tell me I can't. I'm like, I'm not telling you can't. Your body, your choice. You do whatever you want with it. All I'm here to do is give you guys guidelines and say, this will probably help you feel this way, and that will probably make you feel that way.
How does she know? How does she know how it's going to impact everyone? Is it based on her great level of experience and knowledge? Oh, wait, she doesn't have that.
You take that information and you do with it what you want to do with it. It's your body. I'm not shaming anybody for it. I just want people.
She shames people for it all the time. And it's interesting. So looking on some of the coach pages, people will ask questions, or if they say anything that may in any way show some questioning a 4-week gut protocol, their stuff is deleted because it's considered bringing everyone down, and we just want positive vibes. That is information control, and that is one of the cult tactics, just so you know. Additionally, people have legitimate questions that they are not getting answers to. Autumn isn't answering them. Carl Deichler's not answering them. This phantom team of registered dietitians and doctors that apparently they have on staff, but nobody knows who they are. No one has seen them. They're not answering the questions. Who is helping them? Oh, that's right. Other coaches who are also just kind of flying by the seat of their pants.
To feel good. But I also want people to stop hiding behind the diet culture thing that has come out of nowhere.
It hasn't come out of nowhere. It is the fact that it is a multi-billion-dollar industry that you are firmly entrenched in. That is why it is becoming more and more pervasive, is because of companies like yours.
And you know what? Can I also point something else out? I'm on my soapbox this morning. That, ladies, it's only us. I hate saying that, but it really is. I've yet to have a man come at me and tell me that when I tell them to, like, when I say this is eating healthy, I've never had a guy come at me and be like, you're teaching diet culture. I get attacked by women. It's us. It's us looking.
I think that is incredibly sexist. I think one of the saddest parts to me is the fact that people don't acknowledge that this is not just a female issue. Men have these same issues. Men have concerns with body image and self-love and being healthy, and following diet culture. Don't give me that. And part of it is opinions like this, attitudes like this are why guys feel like they can't be open about their struggles, because she's like, oh, well, the guys don't do that. Yeah, they do. Yes, they do.
to attack each other, and it's us looking to say, like, I need a reason and I need to, make an excuse for why I can't do it. Guys don't do that. Guys,
we're not making an excuse for why we can't do it. We're talking about the harm that you are causing to thousands of people by introducing disordered eating patterns that you are not willing to acknowledge. And it is so frustrating that instead of being willing to sit down and have a conversation, you just get super defensive and delete anybody that doesn't agree with you. That is where we have the problem.
They're just like, yeah, I ate like crap, and I don't like the way I look, and it is what it is, and when I'm ready to make a change, I'll make a change. Like, they take full responsibility.
Seriously, that's how she sees all guys. Man.
Full ownership. They don't point and be like, well, I should be allowed to have it this way. And you guys, I'm all for self-love. I am all for everybody is beautiful. Everybody, individual body is beautiful.
You can tell how much this is hurting her to even say out loud. She looks so uncomfortable saying that everybody is beautiful.
But I am not for telling people that certain things are healthy when they're not.
How does she know? How does she know? Is she looking at their blood work? Is she looking at their health markers? No, she is making judgments based on people's appearance. That's it. She has no idea what their level of health is. Because she said it herself. She looked like she was healthy, but she was super unhealthy. So how can you tell by looking at someone if they are healthy? Oh, wait, you can't. You can't.
And if you even compare health magazines, a men's health magazine to a women's health magazine, you will never see on the cover of a men's health magazine somebody that has a significant amount of weight to lose with the caption that it is healthy.
Like, you guys, I just can't. Oh my gosh, I'm so frustrated. She has no room to talk to anybody about what health looks like. She doesn't know. She is not an expert in any of this. She's not. She hasn't gone to school. She has no credentials.
You guys, I'm using the word health. I'm not saying beautiful. I'm not saying loved. I'm not saying worthy. I'm saying health. Because there are certain health conditions that come with not eating right, not exercising all the...
What about over-exercising? What about under-eating? What about restricting food groups? What about some of those things that you preach on the daily basis? Those are not healthy either. Like, that's... I'm so frustrated.
Time. And so I just want us, one as a society, but really as women, right? Like I said, I'm speaking to my ladies right now. I want us to just own it. Like, let's just own it. And by the way, own it in the best way. Like, yeah, this is how I want to eat, and I feel good about it. Great. Yes. Love you. To you. There's no shame in it. Nobody. Look, I know there's trolls on the internet, and they want to shame everybody for everything. Y'all can't be affected by people you don't know whose opinion has nothing to do with you. So, like, you do you.
Anybody that disagrees with her, she considers a troll or a hater. No, that's not the case. The fact that you're not willing to acknowledge any of the damage that you have done to thousands of people, that's where we have the issue. How do we know that's the case? Because I hear from them. I have them in my messages. I get emails. I get comments. Former coaches, former people who have tried these things, who now have a very disordered eating pattern, that are trying to heal their relationship with food, that has been caused from programs that she created. That is where we have a problem, and she refuses to be willing to listen to any of that.
And you love yourself on every step of the journey. But we just have to acknowledge that certain things aren't healthy and certain things are. And that's okay.
It's true. There are some things that aren't healthy. Here's some things that I'm just going to throw out there. Measuring all of your food, changing your food in order to fit containers. I used to do that. My husband would be like, ooh, this sounds really good. And let's say it was a casserole or something. I'd be like, ooh, I don't know what containers that would be, so I'm not going to make that. Because I was so bought into this diet that she is preaching that I couldn't make some of those decisions, and it was impacting my relationship with food greatly. But there are other things that you can do that also impact your health. One of the concerns that people have brought up, and I don't know if this is the case, I am just saying a concern that has been brought up, is what about when she was looking at all of her health issues, what about breast implant illness? Nobody has talked about that. I haven't heard her ever talk about that. So many of the top Beachbody coaches in the last few years have done explants because they were sick from their implants. That is also something that maybe isn't the healthiest thing to do. I'm just saying, like, so for her to preach that you should be doing all of these things, she doesn't know. She doesn't know that.
Hey, and it's a diet culture, and it's not bad, and it doesn't make somebody a bad person for wanting to teach it, and it doesn't make somebody a bad person if they don't want to have anything to do with it. It's just personal choice. So anyways, I really came on to talk about sleep and exercise, and I got on my soapbox about
That's not true. She's saying, oh, I just got on to talk about these things. No, she said very clearly, she talked about sleep, and then she's like, I have 2 more things that we need to talk about. She meant to talk about this. She meant to get on her soapbox. She meant to spout off and to go on this rant.
But I'm going to go enjoy my quinoa breakfast bowl because it smells so good. I was giving the berries a little bit of a chance to cool down. I've got my matcha latte. I got to make a reel for you guys showing you how to make this one because this is a chai tea matcha latte, and it is so good. But it's Saturday.
So many people keep saying that it tastes like fish tank water.
No, it's not. Oh my God, I did it again. It's Friday. I hope everybody has a great Friday. I know it's Easter weekend, Passover coming up. I'm not great. I don't know exact days of Passover, but I hope everybody has a great holiday. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it with no feelings of regret or fear around food. You enjoy and embrace with your families. And then you keep doing things that are good for your body. You get up and you move, and you enjoy your movement, and you get back and eat your healthy food, and it's great. So here's to all of you guys taking care of yourselves. Keep it up.
Okay, so let's go over and look. One of my friends posted, I'm going to look it up real quick. She posted kind of a response to this and helping to describe what diet culture actually is. So let's look at this. Wanting to eat foods that make your body feel good isn't participating in diet culture. It's when those foods are placed on a pedestal, labeling them as healthy and good, while others unhealthy or bad. It's when rules are put in place of how much you can eat and how you can prepare it from an external source for the purpose of shrinking or keeping your body small. That is participating in diet culture. The intention and the mindset behind why you are eating something matters. When we talk about all foods fit, that doesn't mean we are telling people to eat cookies every day. But we are also not telling them they shouldn't or saying it's unhealthy if someone has a cookie every day. When I was participating in diet culture and was all in on the diet mentality, measuring everything in colorful containers, drinking my daily dose of nutrition, reading all the labels, you know what I was also doing? Eating a donut or 2 or 3 every single day for at least 2 years. How often do I eat donuts now? Giving myself full permission to eat them whenever I want? Maybe 2 a month, if that. Not because they are unhealthy or bad, they just are. Seeing food as neutral, encouraging others to shift to an all foods fit mentality, it's the first step in creating a healthy relationship with food. This doesn't mean nutrition, eating a variety of vegetables, fruits, proteins, complex carbohydrates is thrown out the window. It means that before we can focus on nutrition and what it means for the individual person, there has to be a shift in mentality and healing, especially if there is a history of chronic dieting and restrictive eating. You are the expert in your body. You know what's best for you. I trust that you will make the decisions and choices that work for your life. That's a hard concept to grasp if you've been measuring out foods in colorful containers for years. You are absolutely capable of making nutrition choices without placing foods on a pedestal. And then there are a couple of diet culture resources. I love that. And I love what Jen said. And I'm going to also link to her Instagram because she has some fantastic information. I'm also going to link a few other resources for you. But the last book that she mentioned, the Intuitive Eating book, I am working my way through that. And it's hard. And it is a struggle to break myself out of that mentality of good and bad, healthy, unhealthy, things that are allowed, things I shouldn't have. It is so deeply ingrained in me from the time I was little that getting out of that has been hard. It has been hard. And for her to say that she doesn't preach diet culture is really a slap in the face to anyone that she has harmed with her programs. So with that, I'm really hoping this video worked because I never want to watch that video again. I am grateful for you guys to be here to process all of this with me and to help me get the message out that this is not okay. We're not going to stand for this anymore. Not only, I have been mainly looking at the health and wellness aspect of it. We'll get into the business part of Beachbody coaching. Don't you fret, because that is a big hot mess and we will get into that. But this program has so much potential to do so much harm, and they're seeing it. They're seeing it in the coach groups where they're like, why am I breaking out? My face is flaky. I have this weird rash. I have been bloated. I am uncomfortable. Why? And they're getting zero help from Autumn, from Carl, or from this mythical team that we have yet to ever see. Please take care of yourself. Don't buy into diet culture that Autumn seems to be leading the charge on, and take care of yourself. Please make sure, comment down below your thoughts, your feelings, and how this impacts you or how you felt watching her. She makes me so uncomfortable and I need to apologize for everything that I have ever done. Kind of like Chunk from Goonies. I need to be like, and then I ate a pizza, and after that pizza I had ice cream. She makes me feel so guilty for everything, and you shouldn't feel that way. So anyway, make sure comment, subscribe. Thank you guys for joining me, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye guys.